and welcome back to the Don't Make This Weird podcast. I am one of your hosts, Heather, and also with me. Oh, he doesn't even have. I don't have him on camera yet either. Also with me, I have Tony, and Nate is hanging out in the studio. Chris is on his way. Can you change it with that still? Just in my face. Chris is on his way, and we have our special guest with us tonight, Matt Gabriel. He is an awesome musician. Oh, I think we need to turn him on too. There we go. There he is.
Everybody hear me?
Yeah, there
One
you are.
job, Heather.
All right.
1,000,001. Thank you. Thank you so much. So we're glad that you guys are tuning in. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the chat to see if you guys are out there.
Of course they are.
And I'm not. Oh, yep, there we go. You might hear me for a minute in the echo because I'm professional.
Of course, because we always have our stuff together.
There we go.
We have so much to cover tonight.
We do.
It's been insane. The weekend, the week, everything that we've been doing.
Mm-hmm.
All these little seeds that we planted are finally coming to fruition.
Yeah.
It's so cool to be
It's been
part of.
fun.
Oh my God, yes.
It has been a lot of fun, and we do already have Candy in chat saying hello, family.
What's up, Candy?
Yeah, and then we have Kenna saying, hi, guys. Hey, Kenna, how's it going?
How can I?
Hope you're feeling better, girl.
What is going on with all of this?
I don't know.
Yeah,
we're
we should
hooked.
Get an intern or something for this.
I would, yeah. Something like that. So we were waiting on Chris to get here. He's in commute. He's on his way
the
here.
Ghost host with the most.
But he
I'll
is on
drink
his
to
way. So we have had a crazy weekend, week, whatever you want to say. It has been incredible, a lot of fun.
Insanity.
I just have to say that I'm thankful that we're busy.
Yeah.
You know, some people might be like, oh, I just want a minute, but I have my minutes when I do, you know.
It's funny you say that because we've got the newsletter coming out for Survivor Girl.
We do.
And that's part of what hey, Chris is here. All
There's
right,
Chris,
brother.
And he shuts the door on Laney. That's all right. It's all right. Get him on. Chris is in.
Yeah.
All right.
But no, that was
Laney.
actually the article that I wrote for the newsletter.
Yeah.
It talked
I got
about
to see
that.
a little bit of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of being thankful for having the opportunity to do the things that you do because that's what we do.
Yeah.
And it makes it so much easier when you're able to be thankful and do something instead of doing it begrudgingly and going,
right.
I got to go to work at 9 a.m.
You know what? That's crazy because for the podcast and all of that and then working at Bronner's, I love my job.
Me too.
Like I go into
I love
work
this show.
happy. And then when I come here, I'm just like, hey, it's our night to hang out and do our thing, you know? So we got to fix the camera though so that we can see Chris because we don't have Chris
it's
on
just
camera.
me, man.
Yeah, see.
All Tony, all the time.
That's
Yeah.
right. I feel like I'm
All
on Mitch's show.
Tony.
All Mitch,
But,
all the time.
So Chris, this is Matt. He's a musician that we met at
Great to
the
meet you.
Gypsy Goddess Festival,
Excellent.
and yeah, so we seen him there, asked him to come on. That was back in
June.
was that
I think it was
June?
June.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was June.
we've had this set up since June.
Yeah.
So you're gonna give everybody.
I have an intern.
Yeah. Dawn's hanging out. She says hello.
What's
My
up,
dad
Dawn?
is here. He says hello. I'm here. Hey, Dad. Thanks for joining us. I really appreciate it when you come and hang out.
What's up, Pops?
Kenna is here. She says I've tried all the time and I have an appointment on the 23rd for my heart. Okay, so we are still keeping you in our prayers, hon.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Adam says, "What's up? Sounding great, guys."
Awesome.
Thanks, honey.
Hey, the intern did his job. Everybody give him a hand. Yay.
Yay.
We love our little
Excellent.
Taiwanese hooker in the studio.
Jeez. But you can't see him on camera.
I thought
if
she
you
was
could.
Filipino.
There he is. There he is. So let's go ahead and start. How about you? How about Chris? How have you been?
Yeah, brother.
How's your
Fine.
week?
It's fine.
Just fine. He
Fine.
just got fine.
Well, you didn't smoke anybody for the sake of them being an asshole this week, or
No,
what, man?
no.
He behaved himself. He had a lot of stuff
What?
going on.
Come on, man.
Gloves are hung up. I'm retired. I am. Well, except for
He's
crackheads.
done.
I always have an exception for that.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part. No, it was good. I had an interview at work. Smashed it.
I figured you
Feeling
would.
pretty good about it.
That's awesome, brother.
They had those little secret innuendos where it's like, well, when you get the store, well, when you start your training, I mean, if you get the store and start your training,
Uh-huh.
and then you're like
Yeah.
giving me all these specific directions.
Of course.
Like, but somebody's ass is losing their job.
It's not Chris.
I figured that out.
And it's not you.
It's not me.
Nope.
That's awesome.
Running
man.
up through the ranks,
Congrats.
brother.
But yeah, their training programs like brutal. You do like 5 10-hour days
Holy shit.
for 4 weeks.
Whoa.
And then she absolutely will not tell me what store.
Really?
No. I'm like, so how does this work? She goes, it's how it works is on your last day, on your 20th 10-hour day,
Right.
I'm going to call you about 9:30 at night, and I'm going to tell you where to report in the morning, and there won't be a manager there.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, damn.
You are the weakest link.
That's some
Goodbye.
seriousness. And right now, it's like you are really close. So if they put you somewhere else, that's not going to be fun.
I know, but
But
more than triple for pay.
Oh, there you go.
Nice,
yeah,
brother.
I mean, I guess the commute would be all right then.
Yeah, I can deal with it. But
Oh,
yeah, I
you
mean,
know.
my market's pretty small. It goes from, it's like Clio, Frankenmuth, Vassar, Bay City.
It'd be funny if you
Redland.
were in Frankenmuth. I'd be like, hey, Chris.
Yeah, at the local radio.
No.
Edit that.
Becky's joining us. She says, hey, everyone. Hey, Becky.
What's up, Becky?
And also, Adam said, missing the 2x4 braking. LOL. That's funny. So, yeah.
But yeah,
That's
good.
awesome.
Chill. Got the weekend off.
Yeah.
Probably gonna try to shoot a deer.
Nice.
Want some venison.
There you go. Is that a
Oh,
a
yeah.
cold beverage you have
That is a surge.
there?
Whoa, you guys remember Surge?
Yeah.
they
Jolt.
got
You remember Jolt? Oh, man. All
Yes.
the extra caffeine
Oh
in the
yeah,
world.
2 for 2 for the marathon by my house for the
There you go.
Nice.
the Coke. It
There
works.
you go. So, what about you, Tony? How's your week been?
Oh God, it
Or
has been
weekend?
absolutely insane.
Yeah.
We did the Pumpkin Festival.
Yes.
I got to hang out with the Mysterians, which was awesome.
Yeah, I got to
Everybody's cracking these cans. I'm just like, where's mine?
you got tea.
Right, I got tea. It's in my throat.
The Mysterians.
Those guys were so freaking awesome. They're like rock and roll
Yeah.
legends.
Sure.
They had the song 96 Tears.
96 tears, yeah.
Dude, like these guys were so tight. Of course, they've been playing together for like 50 some years.
Sure.
But it was a 3-piece. It was the guitar player, the drummer, and the keyboard player. And like these dudes are just shredding back and forth. And I'm going, I want to be like that when I grow up because holy shit.
Well,
So-
if you do anything for 60 years,
Yeah,
pretty
exactly.
good at
Yeah,
it.
Matt had made that comment too. He's like, they've been together for like 50 years or something. So I mean, they're
Yeah.
gonna be like right on.
But
Probably don't have to talk anymore. They probably just
No.
look at each other with a few.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, let's go to Applebee's.
Let's get that $5 app.
No, Half-off apps. I get it.
I'll
Yeah.
have the quesadilla burger.
Yeah.
My microphone isn't echoey to you guys, is it?
No,
just in my
it
headphones.
could just be
Yeah.
your headphones.
Okay.
Yeah.
Most
It's all in
likely.
your head, dude.
It's all in my head. You guys are all actually here, right?
We're
Of
here.
course.
Okay,
Where?
cool.
Yes.
I
Where
think.
is here? That's relative.
I think we're here.
But yeah, it was so cool getting the chance to sit down like just like this with these guys between sets and to
Nice
chit chat with them.
dudes. Nice
Oh,
dudes.
incredibly humble dudes. And you know, they're rock and roll legends. I mean, come on, who gets the chance to sit down and talk with somebody
Right.
like that on a day-to-day basis?
I worked with a guy at a dealership that was one of them at one point. in
Oh,
time.
right.
Richie Schultz was his name.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And I thought he was getting checks on that, some royalties.
The
He
royalties?
used to tell me for that 69 tears. I think he was.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. He could be full of shit, or I could just be dumb.
Yeah, man.
There's a lot of gray area on that number. But he was cool and he was a good musician.
Right. So that was the, how my weekend kicked off. Then Heather and I went to the Swashbucklers Bash.
And Nate.
And Nate.
And Roxanne.
And Roxanne and Candy and Allison.
Mhm.
And, we were totally ripping on Nate because he was Gimpy 5000. But no, there was some really cool bands there. The Scott Green Band, which
yeah, Scott Green was awesome.
he's
I'm
playing.
getting a hold of him.
Yeah, we need to get him on the show. He was playing an acoustic guitar, playing a harmonica, and then he had a suitcase with a kick drum built into it,
Yeah.
and then a license plate with one of the tambourine rattly thingies
Yeah.
stuck to the license plate. So you'd hear.
It was so cool.
It was so
I want him
freaking
to
awesome.
make me one for our band.
He reminded me of Zach Wilde's Pride and Glory.
Yeah.
Dude, like he did this amazing cover of Simple Man.
We're gonna
Really?
have some of
Oh, yeah.
we're gonna have some of those videos and stuff available on the Patreon for our subscriber content. But yeah, it was really cool. He was really awesome. They had a lot of really good stuff going on.
Absolutely.
What was the
Tightly Wound.
Tightly Wound?
My boy Brian.
Yeah.
Shout out to those guys.
I Am Ninja.
I Am Ninja. That's
They were there. Super Horn Dog.
Oh, such good music. Arsenic Tea Party.
Arsenic
Those
Tea
guys
Party.
were insane.
Another
Decayed
great
Grace.
name.
Decayed Grace.
Decayed Grace.
They were good.
Hand jobs for
front
the
girl.
homeless.
Yeah.
I love that one.
That was funny. He did Holler Back Girl.
Oh God.
And I was dying. I think Roxanne got a recording of
and
that.
Genie in a Bottle.
And Genie in a Bottle. It was pretty funny. Roxanne was out there for the highly offensive hoodies.
Representing.
And yeah, it was fun. Only complaint I had was that my little feet were cold because I got soaked through shoes and pant legs.
We were there way too early in the
Yeah.
morning and soaked for the majority of the. However, that epic food truck.
Yeah.
Holy cow!
Eat yet?
Yeah.
Eat yet?
Oh my
It's
God!
veteran ran. And it was really good.
The loaded fries
It was really
had pulled
good.
pork, cheese, jalapenos, barbecue sauce. Like this, when you're eating from a good food truck, when they hand you the bowl thing plate, and the grease is already soaking through your hand.
Yeah, it was like
It was crazy, dude. But it was so good. And then I got the what was it, the Yeehaw burrito?
yeah, burrito.
Oh my God.
He was
dude.
trying to get everybody to get that, but I kept on saying, "No, you really want these fries." And
it
everybody
was
started
great.
getting those. And they
So,
were really good.
I got that, and it had shredded chicken, fried rice, black beans, like the barbecue sauce stuff that they did, and oh, dude, it was so fucking filling.
Really?
Yeah, I handed Nate the rest of my fries. I'm like, here, I got to finish this burrito. When I was done, it was like clear.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I'll show you a picture really quick.
What's that? Oh yeah, check that out.
A
Hope
dragon
made
with a
that.
boner.
Hope, nice.
Yeah,
Throw it up on the camera. Show everybody.
I don't know if I'm allowed to.
I like how they did the extra detail on the boner.
So
Good job, Hope.
yeah, and it's been insane since with getting ready to do pre-production for this weekend with This Is My Brain. We've got Survivor Girl episode coming up. What else do we have? Good God, there's so much crap. I rattled it all off to you, man.
There's always this feeling when you
It's a
talk
blur.
to somebody before an interview.
Yeah.
Where you go, oh, this is so good.
Yeah.
Because you want the interview to go well. And you're like, oh, we're using up some real, genuine, good stuff here, you know?
Right.
But you don't want to just be like, shut up. We're not going to talk until it's like, that
Don't talk to
sounds
me.
Contrived.
You walk
yeah.
in, give me those M&Ms. I only want the green ones,
Right.
and don't talk to me right now. Save it for the interview.
But it has been an incredibly awesome week. Got to meet some great people who are coming on the show, I'm hoping at some point.
Yes.
And just moving forward and doing crazy stuff. And we'll talk more about that later on.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
how was your weekend, Heather?
I'm gonna go to chat really quick and then I'll tell you.
No.
Out of line.
So Adam says hand jobs for the homeless was awesome. That was a band, by the way, guys. And
No, he participated in
Not
the
the
actual
charity.
act.
and his mic was a schlong, he said. And
No, it was a
also,
dildo. That's what it was.
Candy said amazing food, and Adam said loaded fries were amazing. So
Yeah.
So there was that, and then the weekend was good. It was a lot of fun. There was a lot of people out there, different bands, a lot of stuff. There was even, it was just really cool. Like it wasn't as big as Tuscolapalooza, but he is planning on another one next year, and I hope people go to it because
It
I
was
think they're
awesome.
missing out. It's
It was
local,
awesome.
it's close, it's I think more people need to get out. Tickets were only $10. It was $15 for a couple. That's not bad.
Yeah.
So
And it's an all-day event.
yeah, so that was a lot of fun. I really had fun. We set up some of the Survivor Girl stuff there too.
Yep.
And we got to meet a lot of really cool people. So that was
Speaking of events, you were just part of an awesome one.
fun. I was. It was incredible.
Tell our listening audience about that.
So there was a Corky's Dream is going to be a women's shelter and an animal shelter. They're building it together. And so this event was a Las Vegas themed black tie affair, and it was a lot of fun. We played.
Wore a suit.
He did. Oh yeah, I'll show you
Was
pictures.
it camo?
It wasn't camo. It was not camo.
Yeah, little hillbilly actually wore a suit.
Nope, he was dressed up like a, not like a hillbilly.
Redneck. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah. No, he actually was dressed up nice, and I was blinging too, and it was a lot of fun.
They
Got to see
legit
Jeremy.
like put together awesome. She sent me pictures, and I'm like, holy shit. look
Cleaned
at
all
that.
up, eh?
Yeah.
I'm telling you, they clean
Good
up
job,
all right
guys.
for white
Yeah, I
folk.
had to.
Not
I did a speech at it and everything, and she'd asked me to do a speech, and that's where I made the 20 cheesecakes for auction. They all went for $20 a piece.
Nice.
Dang.
Yeah, so that was cool. All of them were gone at the end of the night, and I got orders to make more. So
Yeah.
I do bake cheesecakes, and yeah. $5 cheaper for mine, but that's no, but it was a lot of fun. I didn't know when I got there they were supposed to be minis, and I was like, I made full size. Like I went to the hostess and I'm like, I made full size cheesecakes. I didn't know they were supposed to be minis, and she's like, oh, how much more for the ingredients? And I was like, no, we're good. You know, you're good. So so that was fun. They did like blackjack. They had roulette there, and what it was is they would give you a certain amount of chips. You got to go and play with those chips, and whatever you had left over, you got tickets to put into like raffle different like gift baskets.
That's kind of
So that was cool. And then they had like live auction stuff, and there was all kinds of really cool stuff. It was a lot of fun.
3OF.
3OF was there playing. They played, and then they had like prime rib and everything for dinner.
Oh.
I mean, the tickets were $100 or $150 for a couple. But I mean, it was really for a good cause, and I'm hoping to see this, build. She's like, I'm not worried about it. I just, she was happy to have everybody there.
Yeah.
The auction stuff went really well, so that was really cool. It was a lot of fun. And they had people dressed up with like poker vests and stuff on. It was cool. It was cool. And then I ended up winning like 2 different baskets and a flower arrangement because I know a secret that my dad told me. Anyway.
Oh man.
Oh, yeah.
Tell me after the show.
I will.
She's
I will tell
fixing
you.
the system, man. It's insider trading.
So that was fun.
God damn.
It was
I know,
free.
right?
That part was free. I
No
put money in
support.
for other stuff, but that was a lot of fun. And there is another event coming up that she wants me to be a part of too. So I'm
Cool.
excited about it.
Sweet.
So what else happened?
We have a guest tonight. You're kind of like,
You're hogging the mic, dude.
yeah,
Big
you're
time.
being a mic.
You guys are busy. You were telling me
We're
all
super
about
busy.
it before I came here. It's amazing.
Got a lot going on. Survivor Girl coming up. We have stuff with Mitch and lots of stuff. But it was a lot of fun weekend. Really fun weekend. I'm looking forward to more events with you guys because we have a blast.
Yeah.
We're
And
gonna
we're
get one where all 3 of us could be there at the same time.
I can't wait.
think that
Holy
could
It's
happen.
insane.
I think that could happen.
I think it's the unholy trinity, Chris. I mean,
Something.
because there's
not
all
holy.
kinds of shenanigans that happen when we're all together.
Yeah, I'm not holy.
Yeah. Oh, and Adam's talking about the apple cinnamon cheesecake. Oh my goat, they're delicious.
Oh my god. Are you
Yeah.
sure his tux or whatever wasn't camo?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. He had some pinstriping going on. He even had
Yeah?
dress shoes, not the 4-wheel drive shoes.
No way.
I
Oh
know.
yeah, he cleans up all
So-
right for a white dude.
So okay, enough about me.
Our guest.
We're
Our
to
guest.
Matt, when we seen him at Gypsy Goddess Festival, it was really cool.
Oh yeah.
Very cool. I was like, well, you were like, Heather, we need to get him on the show.
I spotted him because I've got an ear for that kind of thing,
Uh-huh.
and I was like, dude, are you local? Can you come on a podcast? Because like you were up there giving it and entertaining, man, and it was cool because there's a little crowd that had gathered around, and then more people started coming in, and I'm like, this dude's got it. Whatever it is, he's got it, and it's incredible to sit back and watch, and from one road dog to another. It's great
Thanks, man.
to see someone doing what it was that you were doing, because you were just they're having a good old time. It was so much fun to watch. So I'm like, Heather.
We always started out when we would play with, you get thrown on a bill with a couple bands you don't know at the beginning, when you're just kind of, getting your foot in the door in some places, and our mentality in our very first bands that we started out with in the music industry was just, well, we got to make these guys all look really awful.
Right.
Like we're going to, I don't know. It wasn't like we were trying to steal anything, but it was just like, we're going to raise the bar.
Absolutely.
And especially if we were first, you guys get 30 minutes and right when the doors open. So people are kind of filing in,
Oh yeah.
So, and the monitors don't work yet and all that, what I mean?
Right.
That kind of stuff. And I guess I've never really outgrown that mentality, even though, I make a living doing this and it's something that I enjoy, and
Right.
it's grown and I'm really proud of it, and it's comfortable in a way, in a sense. I still haven't lost that, well, if today's the worst show, you got to make the best out of it.
Absolutely.
And like I said, I don't have to play too many of those where you're thrown in just as like a second or like a last thought, maybe in third or fourth
Right,
thought.
right.
And you can be on the bill too if you bring 20 people or something. You know? So I don't know if there's at that event there were a lot of people moving through too.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
had you next to all the stalls and stuff like that. And
Yep.
it was just like I don't know, like I just want to win these people over.
Yeah.
And it just I spent 15 years of my life just in a healthy way, like winning people over.
Of
that
course,
way, you
yeah.
know? And it's like I really like the attention, but I don't like just shamelessly asking for it without giving something back.
Exactly.
So if you entertain and people are entertained, they're enjoying what you're doing,
Yeah.
and I'm getting the attention, it's like that's fair. It's an even trade. you know?
Right.
It's a give.
Yeah, and
Right.
I think it feels even better when somebody goes, "What was that? I've never heard this guy before." You know,
Yeah.
and then they sit down like my mom didn't call you and say to show up. You know what I mean? It's like
Right.
those
Right.
people, those are like genuine like listeners that are just
Yeah.
nobody said that I was cool to them, so they
Yeah.
showed up because this is the cool thing to do. Those kind of shows they don't really bother me, and I've never been a baby about that kind of stuff. Anyways, that
Yeah.
can get in people's heads. They can
Oh,
get
yeah.
Oh yeah.
nobody showed up to my thing. Nobody's sitting here listening. to me."
Right.
And then
right.
they just let it just like tank their whole performance.
Mm.
And I don't know. That's never been my take on it.
Well,
Yeah.
that's
know,
what got me
so-
because I mean, we were sitting in the booth for our friends at Stone Cottage Farms, and you started playing the beginning of your set, and I'm like, what is that?
Yeah.
So I
It's like,
kind of
I'm gonna go check that out.
I'm gonna go check that out, and went over there, and I was not dissatisfied at all. I was like,
Yeah.
wow, this dude is just throwing down. I'm loving this.
Man,
Yeah.
that's a
So
lot.
yeah, it's really cool that you bring that up because that's exactly how you captured me, and I'm going.
You sit
I'm
here-
gonna sit back and I'm
Mhm.
gonna chill this. Heather, get over here.
And it breeds more opportunity too.
Yeah,
you know?
absolutely.
You could have taken that, or I could have just half-assed it and just kind of did my 45 minutes and then left. you know?
Yeah.
Get your paycheck and you split, or you could really put something into it and something grow out of it.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, I've had enough opportunities that could be seen as like
Right.
growing experiences or
Oh,
ju-
yeah.
you know, but those, if you do them right, a lot of the time somebody will come up and say, hey, I heard you and would you like to do this show, or what so it's at least something that can build your character up even
Yeah.
more. So
And that's what was so cool about it is you were so approachable after the show. I'm like, dude, we need to connect up. This was great. Can I, help promote what it is that you're doing? Because that was a great set. And, I don't know. Everybody's their own worst critic when that is like, okay, I kind of phoned some of those things in because I couldn't feel my fingers or whatever,
Right.
But no, you were really approachable. And there's a lot of musicians that when you approach them either between sets or after their show, they're like, "Be gone, peasant! I'm no longer on the stage. You cannot address me." And I'm
Do
going,
not talk to me.
but you were so not that way. You were really
You're
humble.
packing up and still talking and smiling and like, really genuine, and it was like, oh, this is cool, So
yeah, I like people, and I'm very lucky to have like an artistic side, but also like social skills.
Right.
And not an inflated ego from what like I've earned as far as ability wise.
Oh, yeah.
Like I don't take that as it's not. I don't know. It's not any. It doesn't make me any better than other musicians or even non-musicians, especially. you know?
Right.
But yeah, and I'm also not too artsy to where I can't like look you in the eye. Right? And I feel I'm really impressed by people that are really intimidated by a lot of social
Of course.
situations or just like expectations,
Yeah.
and they still put themselves through it. And
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just like, it's got to feel just like torture, if you don't like people, but you have this weird need to perform what you've created
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
people. It's like tearing you. It's got to pull you in two different directions, So when I see somebody like that, I'm thinking like they're having a day. They're
Yeah.
trying hard right now. This is a lot. They're gonna have to go sit in their room for like a day to recoup.
yeah.
I'm going to go die. The show's over. See you later.
Yeah, I gotta go lay on the ground in the forest by myself or
Right.
something like that.
Find your happy place. Find your happy
Yeah,
place.
exactly, dude. So, but I like people. I like chatting. And once podcasts came out, I love listening to them because of the long form. And
Yeah.
I get more nervous if I've got a 30-second plug or like a 2-minute interview on
Yeah.
a segment or something. Those make me nervous because those I feel like you got to prove yourself so quick.
Oh,
you
of
know?
course.
But in a situation like this, like you can win people over, lose them, and then win them over again.
Right.
If you need
Right.
it, it's 2.5, 3 hours if you want them to be.
Oh,
And there's
yeah.
no limit where it's like, all right, that's all the time we have today. It's like, What else you guys want to talk about? I love it. It's great.
See, here we do that every week. We lose them, we win them back, we lose them again. You know.
I mean,
I always lose them, but I win them back.
I was gonna say I'm voting for polishing the brass on the Titanic, man. It's all going down.
That's right.
But you know what? There's still water in the swimming pool. I'm just throwing that out
There
there.
is.
True. It was so funny when you said that. And your mom was like, "There is." I was like, "Yep, there
Yep.
sure is."
There's
She
gonna
was
be
also-
water in it.
She was also one of the people that believed that gullible was not in the dictionary.
Gotta look that one up.
Ouch.
All right, there's some of them in the world, but hey, what can you do?
All right.
What can you do?
So when you play us a song, man,
Sure.
we've done all this great build up, and I mean, I hate to,
What if it was just all bullshit? Like, I don't
well,
actually
you know,
play.
that's the thing is, I know what me and Heather experienced, but I want everybody else to be able to experience
Just made the whole experience.
You're
up.
right.
You want me to move the mic kind of in the middle? a
yeah,
little
go
bit,
ahead and
or
move in the middle.
what
We'll
if I
turn
just
everything
kinda
else around.
scoot it? You guys are donating your mics. I love this. Just throw.
I'm gonna be a snob and keep mine so my camera
This is
doesn't get
wonderful.
messed
I've got
up.
like a forest of microphones in the wood. Just that's great. And we'll all just pick up on it. This is
take a picture.
perfect. Lend me your mics. That doesn't sound half bad, actually. Here, with this echo I'm gonna take my headphones off.
Do what you gotta do.
This song is called Self-Saboteur. About shooting yourself in the foot. Yeah, we've been down this road before where we play lowly self-saboteurs. I know that love will only leave me lonely and unaware of how absurd to live without all that you deserve. I know that good things only happen to someone else. Whoa, self-saboteur. Oh, you're just pushing us all away. Ooh. Self-saboteur, self-saboteur. Take time just to love yourself. Fear to fail and a chance to fall is all you ever need to never try it all. I know that good things only leave me guilty and wrong is right and control is key. But there's a strength in you I'd never seen. Don't waste time telling yourself you're wrong. Bottom rung is not where you belong. Ooh. Self-saboteur. You're just pushing us all away. Self-saboteur, self-saboteur. Take time just to love yourself. Self-saboteur, self-saboteur. Oh, self-saboteur. You're just pushing us all away. Self-saboteur, self-saboteur, take time just to love yourself. Take time just to love yourself. Take time just to love yourself. Self-saboteurs.
Awesome.
All right, man. That's great.
Thank you.
Now we gotta give all the microphones back.
Yeah, that was good, man.
Once
That was
everybody
awesome.
swings their microphones back. That was really funny. Everybody did it. Like, you've done it before, but I've never
we
seen
do
that
this.
where the whole
Yeah.
host just goes,
Couple of
flips it
times.
around. It's awesome.
It works.
It works.
You
quickly,
get great
actually,
sound out of it.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, that worked.
Thank
really
you, man. That
well.
was great. Now you played that at the festival, didn't you?
Yeah, that's been one of my favorites to play this year. I feel like lyrically, I've always been talking about things people can relate to, but I feel like I used to hide them a little more because the more like you sort of put them in like lyrical trickery and things like that,
Right.
the less you have to be vulnerable.
Right.
But you still have substance, you know.
Oh, of
So,
course.
yeah, and people can take it how they want to take it, obviously, but like I don't know, it was a way to kind of have like a little tiny wall still up, even though you break down your big one by feeling and expressing and stuff. So,
That's awesome.
but yeah, that one's a little more like straightforward and it's less like metaphorically, like driven
Right,
and stuff
right.
like that.
relatable though.
Yeah, it's
like
just-
super relatable.
You don't have to play the record backwards to get the meaning.
So,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
gotta slow it down.
So we're not getting demon possessed Twinkies tonight.
Not today.
Fuck.
Not a lot.
I didn't bring my Air Supply record.
There's not a lot of that in Matt Gabriel music
That's
for
cool.
sure.
So I know they're probably gonna ask. So do you have any EPs, CDs, or anything available, or
Yeah,
downloads,
absolutely.
or how do we get your music?
I've got an album up called Earth Tones.
Okay.
This song is gonna be on a live record. Actually, this one isn't on a live record. This one will be probably in the springtime available.
Okay.
But I've got some videos up like on YouTube of that song,
Oh,
so you
cool.
can hear it again if
Very
you like. Just
cool.
look up Matt Gabriel and you can find it again. I think I'm
Cool.
playing in at a bar in Toronto. I think there's a recording of it from the springtime.
Oh wow.
Cool,
So
cool,
you travel
cool.
everywhere.
Yeah,
How far have you traveled?
I've played in like Europe a little bit.
Oh wow.
But it was more just like I was on vacation and I scored a couple of gigs. So I don't
That's
wanna,
always
like,
great.
I don't want to like inflate and be like, I've toured Europe. It's like I was on the Europe trip that you go on with like your big dumb backpack.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like your
Yeah.
big, and you just see him walking around like, steal all my stuff, please. I have everything with me in a backpack.
Right.
I
Right.
swear that's what those are like.
Yeah.
You're such a target, such a mark, you know.
Mm.
But so I've done that, but I've played all around the country. Out west, out in California, out in, like Seattle, Portland, that area. I've
Oh,
done
wow.
that too.
Nice.
But I've also really enjoyed the last like 2 years just doing like little 10-day runs. Like I'm gonna go out to like Minneapolis the end of this month,
Mhm.
but it'll take me like a week to go out there and then a week to come back.
Yeah.
And it's like I'm married and we're gonna have a baby soon.
Yeah.
so,
Congratulations.
like these kind of things I feel like is like striking a good balance instead of
Yeah.
like the romantic 2-month, 3-month long
Yeah.
run out west and everything. It's fun and I really love it, and maybe eventually I'll get back there, but I'm really enjoying just like heading out, feeling really fresh for the whole tour too, to where
Yeah.
you're not beat and you're not exhausted. This,
Yeah.
from the driving especially, like a lot of out west is there's a whole stretches of like 8 hours in like Nevada and Utah where there's just nobody there.
Yep.
There's not even a town that you missed. You know what I mean?
Wow.
It's like,
Right.
they're like, get gas. You need to get gas here.
Yes.
Like do it because there's no gas for like 180 miles.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm really enjoying just like going out 2 weeks, 10 days, and then come back, recharge your batteries, do your laundry,
Yep.
pet your dog, kiss your
Right.
wife, and then be able to go out again. So
Yeah.
Toronto is one of the little legs that I've wanted to do, and I go down to like as far as like Louisville, and I'll
Mhm.
come back up through like Columbus and do a little
Nice.
That's
loop
cool.
de loop. But yeah, it's just been fun, and it's a good balance, and I get to be out and get back to the town faster too, more often.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I can only get to Portland, maybe 2-3 times a year if you're really hustling, you're really
Right.
charging.
Right.
So I'd rather pop back every like 3-4 months because you stay a little more fresh in
Yeah.
people's minds and they come back to see you, which is such a amazing feeling. Like there's some people in Milwaukee that just like come out to see me every time. They
That's
come out
awesome.
That's
every
cool,
time.
man.
We've
That's
been
very
following
cool.
you. We pay attention. There's a couple that hasn't missed a show since the first time I played out
That's
there.
Wow,
So
way
That's so
cool.
cool.
it could be 10 people, it could be 1,000, but I don't think the feeling's gonna be all that different.
Right.
Right.
You
That's
know?
really cool.
It just feels good, and it's kind of like a mission accomplished. Like your
Yeah.
goals are kind of being met, even if they're on like a smaller scale than maybe what you are anticipating at this
Right.
age.
Right.
I don't know. I think about this a lot with like people's dreams, because people can get too hung up on not having their life look exactly like they expected. But
Mhm.
what did 16-year-old you know in the first place? It knew
Right.
like pure drive and like folly and like what you wanted. That hasn't been compromised. But
Right.
it also has no idea how the world works at all.
Yeah.
At all. No details. There's nothing. They haven't factored in anything yet.
Right.
You
Yeah.
know? So to get to where I'm at with all the extra stuff that I didn't know about, all the factors
Of
that are going
course.
to come in and pull you this way and slow you down that way, I feel really lucky, man, to get to do all of this. And
That's
it all
awesome.
kind of shook down that this gets to be what I get to be, what I
Yeah.
get to do,
How long have you been doing music for?
I started playing when we were about 15 or 16.
Oh,
We had
wow.
like a
Wow.
like a metal band in high school,
Come
Yeah.
on, man.
But I learned so
Always
much
with the
from
metal.
Oh yeah.
Always.
Especially in Michigan. I feel like
Oh,
you
for
have
sure.
to have like a metal rock
It's like a
band.
rite of passage.
It is,
Absolutely.
yeah. Like an Iron Maiden gallop guitar kind of
Great.
sound. Oh yeah. Every one of our songs had some of that.
Of
And
course.
So yeah, I started there. I didn't know how to play guitar then, so it's
Yeah.
fun to watch those videos and go, I could maybe strum you a few chords, but
Right.
I didn't know how. And all those years of practice and those hours put in, it's,
Oh yeah.
it's almost like seeing your body without tattoos.
Yeah.
You're just like, that's weird. That's me, but it's not me now,
Yeah.
But we would play these bars or these venues in Grand Rapids, and
Mm.
they put the big M's on your hands, and then
Mhm. Oh,
you
yeah.
go out and you wash them off as best you can. Kind of thing. And they would hand us, we'd play, and they'd hand us like $200, and then they'd throw your gear out in the snow and kick you out because you're not supposed to be there anyway.
Of course.
Yeah.
Right,
Of
right.
course.
It's like they shouldn't have a band under 18 playing in the first place. But
Yeah.
we had awesome management to help us like get talked into it and
Yeah.
stuff. So
Nice.
Cool.
and I've never really had much of a real job. I've
Yeah.
always wanted to do this and always made a living doing it. And then I
That's
kind of
cool.
just went backwards with like, okay, well your passion makes you this much money, so you can live this kind of life. Instead of I want to live this kind of life, what do I need to earn to do it?
Right.
I just said this is the lifestyle that I want, and I
Right.
just acted accordingly, what I bought or where I lived and things like that.
Right.
So
Well, and when you put the work in, it's so much more fulfilling. And I don't think people, and we've talked about this on the show a handful of times, I don't think people realize how much work you actually put in, because
Mhm.
most people see, oh, you come up on the stage, you perform, you do all this other stuff. And I mean, even when we met at the festival, I'm like, hey, man, do you need a hand putting your gear away or doing whatever? And you're like, wow, thank you for asking me that. But no, man, I'm got it. It's just the acoustic guitar, and that was it. And, it's always great when you have somebody that appreciates that stuff, of putting the work in and going, I know how hard I busted my
Mhm.
ass to get
Right.
here.
sure.
And it's so fulfilling, because when you finally, I guess, arrive, because I don't really think you ever totally do, because one
I
gig
don't
is,
think you do either, man.
but it's always fulfilling when you're able to make a life out of that, because you love what you're doing.
Yeah, that was
And
going to be my
it's
next
great.
question too. I was going to ask you if this is just if you just do this on the side, or this is your main job and just going around and traveling and playing.
I think it has to be your main
That's
job.
great.
Yeah.
I was just talking to a friend of mine about the hardest year I think I ever had was when I was still doing like part-time like restaurant pickup work where
Yeah.
you get a few hours here and a
Yeah.
place like that.
Mhm.
And I think trying to get full-time music work, full-time enough to make a living, and still trying to keep your job, because you're sort of in that limbo where you don't want to take on all the hours at the restaurant or whatever,
Right.
because you need the time to play,
Of course.
but or book, and things like that. But you don't have enough of the music stuff to make a living yet, so
Yeah.
you gotta pick up some. I think that was the most exhausted I ever was. So when I see people that are sort of on the fence and they're great musicians, but they just are in that limbo of job transition, it's almost like you're changing your field. If you wanted to it's like when people have to go to school to change up what they're doing, it's got to be exhausting, man.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's the hardest, whatever it was, 18 months or something like that was to do that. I did have a few, here and there jobs. I was a lunch lady for a little bit.
Yeah.
Ugliest one.
I was the ugliest lunch lady ever. Yep.
Orthopedic shoes.
Yeah.
Sloppy Joe. Sloppy Joe.
I was a lunch lady. I remember on Taco Tuesday, I was the sour cream or salsa. I had a spoon for each one, right?
Damn.
You want sour cream, you want salsa. And my favorite was this kid. He's probably like 18 now, but he was like a little kindergartner when, they slide their little trays and they're like, the tray up higher than them, And I go, do you want salsa or sour cream? And every week on Tuesdays, Taco Tuesdays, he would hold up his tray and go, yes, I love sour cream. And I just see him.
Great.
He's coming down the line, and I'm like, here he comes. Sour cream, kids coming. Oh, he was great, man. Yeah. So that for a little bit, and I was a really, really awful mechanic.
Yeah.
At a place.
Same.
Terrible at it. Why did you hire me? I thought I was just gonna like sweep the shop and like empty garbage cans or I was like 19. I don't know anything.
Yeah.
And I think they had a guy like walk out or something, so they were short staffed and they just assumed way too much about they thought way too much about me as far as like, oh, he could probably do that.
Overestimated the
Oh
capability.
my god. I don't know, maybe I look
Man.
like I could fix your car, but I definitely can't.
I cannot.
I remember, how some people in their house, there's like a spot right when they walk in where they've got like a tray or like a bowl where you put your keys, your wallet, your watch. They take all this stuff and they like unload their, their phone. I had one of those, but it was for extra nuts and bolts. I swear to God, at the end of the day, I would have like a couple extra bolts that I'd be under the car and I just wouldn't know where they went. So I just shove them in.
Oh my God.
That's great.
Kind of put it back is what I can't shove the washer that I couldn't figure out what to do with and a bolt and just put it in my pocket and send it out. Give me another one.
Hey, write that down. Don't let him work on our tour bus.
Dude, it was terrible. A lot of cars have like a skid plate, which is like in case you hit like a branch or like a low spot, it doesn't like mess up your actual like muffler, your catalytic converter. And those have to come off. First thing, you got to take them off.
Of course.
And I would never put those back on. I'd throw them away every time. Drag them out to the dumpster.
Oh, man. I
Oh,
don't know
my
where
gosh.
this one came from.
Oh, man.
He's got one of them sitting on his table for
It
the
was
nuts
so
and bolts.
funny. They're just like these junky plastic things and the
Yeah.
little ties that I'm never
Yeah.
doing that. So,
Yeah, I was a
anyways,
shitty mechanic.
I was such a shitty mechanic
Yeah, me
in a
too.
far off. Just I don't know what they thought they could get out of me. But I was like, I'm just supposed to sweep and take out garbage. And they're like, nope.
Nope, that's not what you're doing. We've got a new
Nope.
career for you.
So
Oh,
that
wow.
was.
It's making this weird noise. I don't know. I'm going to lunch.
Good
Hold
luck
these
on
bolts.
that.
Right.
They eventually just had me start taking the cars out and like testing them. Like, hey, it had a rotational noise. It was making every time they drive it. We think it's fixed. Go take it around the block and make sure it's not making that noise. And I would just like go around the corner and just like nap for a little bit. And they'd be like, it's been 20 minutes. Where'd you go? I was like, I had to take it around for a few times. I thought I heard it. And
Oh my
But
God.
no, we're good. We're good.
Good. You did a good job.
I hope those guys aren't listening.
They might be.
It might be. And they're like, yeah, he was awful.
Sounds about right.
Yep.
That's the guy that dropped the skid plate.
I made it 6 months. And
Did you
that
get
was it.
fired or did
Oh
you quit?
yeah, I got fired.
You got fired.
Like didn't even get to sit down. You know what I mean? Like I almost sat, and they're like, "Gotta let you go." I'm like, "Yep, I know. Yep." I'll
where the
leave.
fuck take you so long?
Deuces.
Because I wasn't gonna quit because I had nothing else going. At the time. So I'm just riding away, just riding this out. It eventually just collapsed.
I legitly have never been fired.
Oh, I got fired.
Oh,
big
I've been
time.
fired tons of times.
Yeah.
Apparently, me and the 9-to-5s don't get along.
I fight it, man. I just
That's why I'm like, fuck it. I'll do a podcast.
Yeah.
I blew it at a machine shop. I swore up and down to these people as a CNC operator that I was good at math, and I am good at math. I'm pretty good at math. and it came to decimals, and they started me at third shift in the morning. The third shift, and it's like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, and
Right.
I fucking hate my life. I cannot express. And it was a job where it's like it comes off this thing, and you got to put it on this thing, and then you drill it, run the machine, and then you got to spin it, put it back up, close the thing, hit the button. Well, every 10 parts, you got to check it with the screwdriver thing to make sure the hole's deep enough and all that, right?
Yeah.
Well, I had one that was off, so I had to make an adjustment on the numeric pad, and I'm like, yeah, we'll just take it down 0.03 or whatever it was, and they're really serious about these decimals. Like, you miss one, and it's fucking bad.
Turns out they got to be really precise for some reason.
Yeah, I mean, if you're 0.0 through 003 or 004 or something like that, yeah, it's okay, but not 0.03. Because that's like a fucking lot.
Yeah.
That's like a lot. So I'm sitting there, we're not paying attention. I hit it, and I run the test part with the one part in it, and all fucking hell breaks loose inside this cabinet. It had this drill thing that spin. It had a bunch of different drill bits on it. That thing crashed down on top of a camshaft.
Oh,
And it was
no.
like this big, and the whole rotating head that with robot arm control fucking smashed down, and then this thing, the whole cage rattled, all these alarms went off and shit. I'm fucking looking around, I'm like, man, the fucking supervisor comes up, he looks, he opens the machine, he's going through it, and he goes, we need a new fucking head chuck. I'm like, so is that like Tractor Supply or?
So I go to Walmart, Home
He's
Depot.
like, no, that's about 60 grand. Get the fuck out of here. You're fired.
Wow.
Later, dude.
Wow.
Empty machine. He said it would be a month before they had it fixed. They had to call in from like Gary, Indiana or something. One guy in North America knows how to fix it.
Right.
Whoops.
Yeah, I got out early that night.
There you go.
It was the last time I had to do
There's
that.
the silver
hard
lining.
shit.
I got out early though.
I'm
What
talking
a
about
fucking terrible job.
talking about like the machines and stuff. Like I worked at a factory and we did like the presses and stuff, and that was like my main thing. And I used to piss off the day shift ladies because my manager, he's like, I'm gonna time you. I'm like, okay. He's like, I want to see how quickly you get everything done in a night because I see that you're always busting them out and whatever. So I pissed off the entire day shift because they were milking it.
Oh, sure.
Oh, they were so mad because they were like, no, you all need to be getting her quota every night.
Yeah.
So with those presses and everything, we had another lady that worked on my shift. And I don't know how the hell this happened, but she ended up like freaking getting her boob caught in the press.
Free mammograms between 7 and 4.
Oh my gosh. So they come running out, and our supervisors on our shift were all guys. And they're like, well, what do we do? I'm like, I ain't looking at it. I'm scared of boobs. Like, this ain't happening.
How you get the
So-
beans before the Frank?
I don't even know. I don't even know what happened.
Oh, man.
Holy shit.
All I can see in my head is like the end of the roll of toothpaste. That's like all I'm seeing.
I don't know. I didn't see. I was like, nope, that's not my job. I don't get paid for that. I hope she's okay. Bye, Gladys.
She's not.
No, they were
She's
like
not.
high-powered press. Like, no good, no bueno.
Bad.
I hope she's not
Oh,
listening.
Jesus. The free mammogram.
Is that what you're on? Dude, that was like 40 seconds ago.
Yeah, he's still on that. He's still on that.
All I can see is old Ethel going, all right, you push this button, clear the safety thing, and smash!
Fuck that copay. I'm doing it myself. What am I looking for?
It's horrible. I had nightmares about it, but then I was like, oh, I'm good.
Hearing you talk about the alarms and buzzers and legend
That's
shit
exactly
going
what
on.
I thought of, too. That's why I thought of it. I was like, oh, man,
That's when you have to ask like an
Horrifying.
African American person what's going on over there, because they would answer it the best. But she got a titty stuck in a machine. Like from Family Guy, the weather guy. It's cold.
Oh, man.
Oh, wake me up. There you go.
There you go. That was my nightmare at my job.
Good God.
So yeah, we kind of went on a tangent there.
Thank you.
Yeah, now what do you guys want to talk about?
You want to play?
We do this all the time.
You want to play another song?
Sure.
I think that's a good segue.
Otherwise,
Good
that was
segue.
That's a good
Political.
say. Titties in the machine. Play another song.
Oh, by the way, Candy said a great job on the last song too. By the way.
Thank you. Glad everybody's listening.
It's spicy. It's a piece of shit.
Love it.
I hate it so much. Oh. I'm crashing it all. A little bit.
A song called Big Sur. It's about a little town in California. Feel the earth below my own 2 feet. Cold and soaked from rain that has, oh, it has retreated. I'm holding tight to what I know to be blissful. It's tender like the morning sun at dawn. Kind of hope that only grows in the forest, not fenced in. You're never gonna fence it in. Not fenced in. You're never gonna. Hear that ivory moon call down, oh, call down to me. Born and raised to know the taste, oh, the taste of freedom. I'm holding tight to what I know to be blissful, claiming I command the birds and the bees. I'm happy to have only just scratched the surface, not fenced in. You're never gonna fence it in. Not fenced in, never gonna fence it in. Send your clean and steel machines. Send them away. They have only just begun the wrecking. And it's in the air that I breathe, and it's in my marrow. I taste that's grown metallic on my tongue. And I've been kissing you like it's some odd form of currency. Not fenced in, never gonna fence it in. No, not fenced in, never gonna fence it in. Not fenced in, no, you're never gonna fence it in. No, not fenced in, never gonna fence it in.
Yeah. That was awesome, man.
That's awesome.
I love the open drop D. Always have.
Thanks.
It's good.
Uh-oh.
What happened?
You unplugged us all.
God damn it.
One job, intern.
There we go.
We got top of Matt's head.
Now we're back on the ceiling.
There we go. All right. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, that was a
Very
great
cool.
tune, man.
So do you play all originals?
I play all originals most of the time.
Yeah.
If there's like a longer gig where they want you to play for like 2 hours, I'll throw in a
Throw in
cover
some.
or something. Yeah.
So what kind of covers do you normally play?
I grew up on a lot of like 80s like Brit pop, like
okay.
the Police,
Nice.
Genesis,
Yeah.
U2. There's a lot of U2 in the house. U2 in the house. The Clash.
Oh,
The
yeah.
Clash is
yeah.
my favorite
Oh,
band.
yeah.
Favorite band of all time.
Oh, yeah.
I was just talking to a friend about this. Like, you've got different periods of time where you're really into this, you're really into that. But
Yeah.
I feel like the Clash is just always stuck with me for the
Mm-hmm.
whole.
Absolutely.
It's so good. The way they look at music is just. I started out with their like Clash City Rockers, where it was just like,
Yeah.
it was like punk kind
Yeah.
of style. you know?
Absolutely.
It was just like I don't know, like I just picture like a 15-year-old like shithead kid in Britain. You know what I mean? He'll like spit on your shoes or like pee on the wall or something outside your building. You know what I mean? With his jacket up, and that was my first like, yeah, I'm gonna rebel. You know, like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right.
So those were my teenage years when I wanted to be like that. I've always had like a fascination with like English culture, but I think a lot of it came from stealing my dad's CDs off of his
Yep.
rack that were all English style. You
Yeah.
know?
Yep.
So Eric Clapton Unplugged, that record
Oh,
was
Yeah, that was a great
that
one.
was huge for, especially because I played so much acoustic guitar that I was just like, how do I get what I'm plunking around on
Yeah.
to that?
Absolutely.
Like, how the heck did he do that? Because it's the hard guitar. You know what I mean? It's the one that hurts your fingers to play.
Sure.
You know, like I teach a few guitar lessons, and I feel bad for the kids that are like 10 and they pull out the acoustics because it's like, oh, your fingers are gonna be sore for like 6 months, bud. You know, like
Yeah.
that's what it is. Forever. So to see somebody do so much, you know, that was
Yeah.
that was a lot of the covers that I played. To come back to your question, are like kind of in that era. But I also really like a lot of like the storytellers, like Tom Petty.
Mhm.
He was always a huge
Dylan.
inspiration.
Dylan.
Dylan, I got into those guys like a little bit later. I spent some time out in a town called Fort Collins in Colorado. It's like
Yeah.
north of Denver a little bit.
Nice.
And a lot of the guys, the musicians out there were playing like that beatnik kind
Yeah,
of folky
yeah.
stuff. So I got into that sort of around that time. And a lot of finger picking stuff that I do all came from that era where the dudes that taught me out there were just like mountain guys that
Yeah.
they were all the folk style and everything.
Mhm.
Yeah, that came out like a little bit later, probably like 21, 22 is when I started to learn how to do those moves.
That
Yeah.
was one thing that immediately blew me away because I'm not that great at finger picking. So watching you not only do it live, but even doing it here in the studio was like, that's great because he's not even paying attention to what he's doing and he's just feeling it. How do I
Mhm.
do that?
A lot of practice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tell the students that I have that it's like, because some of them are old enough to like drive, and I go, do you have to look to find your blinker before you hit your blinker?
Right.
It's like,
Yeah.
no, nobody does. Or you can just put your car in reverse and you don't have to go, okay, where's, okay. there's the thing.
Right.
Whoa, what is, reverse is the R, right? You just do it. You just do it. And I think those kind of motor skills just take, years and years. And-
Muscle memory.
yeah, and starting out doing, I'm just glad I became proficient at anything. It's
Yeah.
just like I'm glad I stuck with one thing and just did it over and over and over again. It could have been something. It could have been painting. It could have been drawing. Could have been
Not mechanics.
not a mechanic. Hope I didn't say too much. I don't
No,
think I
you're
did.
good.
It could be anywhere in the country that I was this mechanic.
Right.
But yeah, I look back on 16, 17-year-old Matt, and like, I'm so glad that I just sat in my room after school and would play 2 hours. Before I did anything else, I'd pick up the guitar, all weekend long, or anytime there was a campfire, I was the guy getting like, the songs and trying to take requests and stuff. So
That's cool.
that was huge. But yeah, it's the, what is it, 10,000 hour thing? Isn't that what they call it?
30,000.
30,000.
Yeah, to be a master.
Wow.
So I'm on my way at least. You know what I mean?
Been
I bet the
doing
first
this for
10,000 are
30
in
years,
already.
and I still ain't figured it out.
No.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
30,000.
But I always want to be the worst player in the room. You know what I mean? I want to be like the dumbest guy in the room. I've always wanted to do that because that you can always learn. You can it's intimidating. It does nothing for your ego.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
But if you can get over why you feel uncomfortable is because these people all know more than you in the room. If you're in the right spot and you really want to be a student, you got to learn to just get over that, or else you're gonna hit walls because you're just gonna go, oh, fuck that guy. It's like, no, learn from that guy.
Exactly.
This feeling that you're feeling is not fuck that guy. It's I'm nervous and intimidated, and I have, you know what I mean? I'm inferior is what I'm trying to go for. He's got what I want.
Right.
It's like, don't pull away from those kind of
Right.
people. Go towards them, even if you feel like a dumbass. You feel stupid.
It's funny you say that because me and Nate were in the studio messing around just before you got here, and then you come walking in. I'm like, oh shit, he's here. Put the guitar down. Don't embarrass yourself. But no, it was so cool because we were working on Zombie by the Cranberries, and I've been listening to the cover by Bad Wolves, and it's just so freaking heavy. I love it. But yeah, you showed up. I'm like, oh shit, put the guitar down. He's here. 'Cause-
Dude, I'm always surprised when I do work up the courage to like actually go approach someone that I want to learn something about, or I feel really intimidated, like borderline jealous. You get it's like a mix of you just feel really you feel like a little kid again.
Yeah.
But if it's amazing when you go up and actually ask someone, hey, how do you do that? Can you show me how to do this? I feel like most people are willing to pass that stuff along.
Yeah.
Which is really
Yeah.
huge. It's super empowering to just, you can ask your boss, you can ask somebody that's, where you want to be, hey, how do you do that? And most of the time, somebody will give you like a little nugget of information you didn't know about.
Yeah.
So that's really cool too. That's the other side of like the reward of getting over that big feeling of like, I got to get out of here. Like, I don't belong here.
It's always good to keep on learning and being able to. It's like when we grew up and you had to do like the job shadowing thing and then write a paper on it. Like I still do that stuff. I still ask people questions about things I'm interested in or whatever. I mean, obviously I don't write the papers anymore, but
Thank God,
but
right?
that's how I look at it though. It's kind of like a job shadowing thing. So I'm like, oh, I really want the knowledge and that I want to learn this, So it's like, yeah, just ask. Just go for it.
People want to give it out most of the time.
Most
I
of the
think
time.
that's cool. Yeah.
So
More times than not.
yeah, for sure. So what is your next show that you have going on so the people that are listening can join you?
Yeah, I'm in
If
the
they're by
area
there.
for the weekend. I've got a show tomorrow night in Midland at a place called the Oxygen Lounge.
Oh, okay.
It's inside the H Hotel. I guess it's where everybody has their. If you're from Midland, you know what that is.
Yeah, right.
And then I'm playing a place called the Governor's Quarters in Bay City.
That's
on
right down the
Saturday.
street from my house.
Is
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
That's cool.
Nice people there too.
So
So
totally
this
go
worked
check them out, man.
This worked
What's
out
that?
super
You should
well.
totally go check them out.
I should.
Yeah.
What day is
Buy
what
you a
day are you
beer.
playing there in Bay City?
Saturday.
Saturday.
Saturday at 8.
At 8.
I
might
might
be
be
able
able to.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
want to do it?
Just pop by for a beer, even.
That'd be
No,
cool.
but I'll come listen.
No.
I don't drink.
Watch me drink a beer.
There you go. Yeah.
I had
Dude,
a-
I'm here.
I had a friend who was drying out. I don't know. It's so easy to just drink however much you want in this job. I feel like it's full of drunks because it's socially acceptable. You're in the right place, but you're at work, man. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like you're at work. Like don't abuse it. But a ton of people do. And
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel like you can go through phases where you're like, wow, I don't need to drink up the $50 tab that they gave the band. You know
Right.
I don't
Right.
need to just squeeze every dollar I can out of it, But I had one buddy who was drying out, and he was sitting at the bar with me. And he looks over at me. He goes, Can I watch you drink a beer?
It's hurting,
I
man.
was like, yeah, I think so. I thought it was so funny. Can I watch you drink a beer? Sure.
Why not? Oh, fakes cheers
Yeah.
you. You know,
It was kind
can
of
hold
funny.
your empty glass
Never
out.
heard that one before.
That's funny.
Watch you drink a beer. That's too funny.
Wow.
I guess if you'll get something out of it, sure.
Yeah, right. Well,
I
mean-
definitely will. So.
Oh, this tastes so good and it's ice cold.
Oh, that's a dick move banner. That's not
Right.
cool.
Dick move banner. Dick
That's not
move.
cool.
You guys, beer people, wine people,
No.
whiskey people, nothing.
Wine.
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 Yeah.
I love a Cabernet.
Yeah.
I'm not a drinker. Tequila kind of ruined it for me.
Tequila way.
Yeah.
I just don't even go there.
Yeah. I know.
I'm not good at it.
Not
No.
good at it.
I turn into a complete maniac. I don't know what the fuck is the matter with me? It's like I'm allergic to it or something.
Could be, man.
Hulk
Dr. Jekyll,
smash.
Mr. Hyde. It's like, oh, I'm having the best night of my life, and it's like, please use 10 people to hold me down.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's not good. I can see why you wouldn't want to do that no more.
Nope.
I had a mocktail last night. I just told the bartender, I was like, I don't know. I got a long weekend. I can't start having drinks now because I'm gonna be exhausted by the end of
Yeah.
it. I was like, just make me something that isn't club soda or Coke. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like that
Right,
He was like, yeah, throw a bunch of stuff together, and it was good. And you're still like sitting and being social. You're in the atmosphere. It's like
Right.
if you pull away the alcohol piece of the whole concept, it's really not that different.
Yeah.
You know, so I think it's good. I think more people are like, I've started to see menus that are like they've got 4 or 5 like signature like mocktails
Yeah.
and stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
That's
that kind
That's
of
a
thing.
good
so-
idea.
Yeah, and they
Super-
taste good, and you know,
When you're not feeling
I'll
it.
just take a little dollar or two fucking Diet Coke.
Yeah.
Pay $6 for some shit and not get drunk.
Right.
Yeah. There you go.
Well, that when they come up to you, it's like, "What you drinking?" Jack and Coke. But
I've
Hold
Mine
the
is the Jack.
hold the Jack.
I've done just like a short club soda with a lime in it, and if people want to buy you drinks, you just go, "No, I'm good, man. I got this."
Yeah.
You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm. I had trouble turning down drinks because I felt rude when I was
Yeah.
younger. You
Yeah.
know, like if they're gonna buy you a shot, you gotta take it. You know, it's so funny. I just love to. I would love to be at like a show when I'm 24 and see me go, all right, you gotta take this. The guy, some stranger gave it to me. That means I have to drink it. It's like, what? No, you don't.
Yeah.
Just set it down and don't come back to it, man.
Exactly.
You're not gonna break this guy's heart. You know.
Yeah.
Right.
You didn't
But-
ask for it.
It's a weird culture.
Yeah.
It's an
Yeah.
interesting job, and you got to find your own self like governing perimeters, or else it just becomes you go to the bar 5 nights a week. and
Yeah.
very few people can actually like function with that, you know.
Mhm.
So
Yeah, it's hard to be
I
wrong.
know.
yeah,
My brother and his wife used to be in a band together. She played the upright, and then he sang and played lead. And after a while, because they didn't drink while they were playing. They felt like they weren't, doing good when they would do that. So they'd start asking for like Red Bull or something instead, or whatever, and be like, "That's all I want." If they try to get me a drink, don't let them,
yeah,
just suggest that. So that's what they would do every time they would go play. So
that's smart.
yeah, that way they knew, and the bartender was on it with them, so he wouldn't give them any alcohol. And he was like, it was just too hard to get up there and perform and be serious. And he's like, I take it as my full-time job, so I just don't do it anymore. It's
Yeah,
like,
and I think it just kind of like takes the edges off of like the experience
Mhm.
too. It's like
Yeah.
you spend so much time. We were talking about how much work goes into like the background of it.
Yeah.
You know? And
Yeah.
when you were hanging out at the festival, we were like able to talk shop about it because
Absolutely.
you can see behind like guy shows up, he plays, and then he leaves. It's like, yeah, that's a fraction of what
Yeah.
this full experience took. Not the drive and you sleep in
Right.
the car.
Yup.
And you make sure that you work out the pricing and the times and the dates, and you gotta follow up all the time and stuff.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
like to like start to gloss that over. It's like,
Mhm.
wait a minute, there was a lot that it took to get here in the
Right.
first place.
Right.
So I don't really want to like have it be a foggy, fuzzy,
Right.
No.
incomplete memory.
Not fun.
Well,
Not
and when
good.
you talk about that, the stuff that goes on behind the scenes and whatnot, and you have those people who are like, oh, well, you cut your set short for 2 minutes, we're not paying you. And it's like, really, dude, over
Wow.
two minutes?
It happens.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Yeah.
It's happening less and less the longer my career goes, which is good. I feel like I'm out of the thick of
Yeah.
just dud random shows that you don't really know what they're
Yep.
gonna be like.
Mhm.
You know what's really saved I think, a lot of musicians from dealing with that kind of bullshit. It's bullshit. It's
Yeah,
terrible.
straight up
It's
bullshit.
weird. The whole transaction is kind of fuzzy to begin
Yeah.
with, especially if it's cash.
Of
You know what I
course.
mean? You feel weird just getting cash, and
Yeah.
it was cool at the beginning to be like, wow, cool. Here's my rent. This is amazing. But
Right.
as an adult, I'm like, I'd like a check, please. You
Of
know what I mean?
course.
Or just like mail me it later, so we don't even have to deal with it. You know?
Right.
But anyways, like, breweries have given my generation, especially, just a really solid, like, usually well, like, decorated, put together. The atmosphere is a whole different than like some roadhouse bar that I
Yeah.
feel like like my parents' generation had to
Sure.
play in. You know, with smoke, cigarette. I used to smoke, but I still couldn't take sitting in a bar
Yeah.
waiting to play for like 4 hours,
Yep.
and then you go up on stage. So breweries have, any breweries owners out there, like, you guys are saving us from having to deal with the 10
Yeah.
to 2 a.m. sets and stuff. You know, it's like we don't want to play them either. You know,
That's
Right.
where I cut my teeth on it, man. You know, I playing in the bars. I mean, like you were talking about roadhouse. There was so many nights after I played a bar, I'm literally peeling beer bottle glass out of
No
my
way.
arm
Yeah.
from behind the chicken wire. I mean,
Yeah.
no joke. You know, it's like, oh, we're playing here. I'm gonna fucking die.
Yeah.
Right.
Who set this up? We need
Right.
a new manager.
We caught the very tail end of that, where you could
Yeah.
still smoke, and there was just a rougher crowd still going
Oh,
out
yeah.
and drinking and stuff, and it was just like, all right, if this is the life it's gonna be. And then I moved out west after high school, and the microbrew scene was catching on there a little bit before Grand Rapids. Grand
Yeah.
Rapids obviously like took it over too, like they adopted it.
Oh, yeah.
But those breweries, they just have a different vibe. It's
Yeah.
almost like a wine bar. Like, they have the same kind of vibe to them. I feel like microbrews are closer to wine than they are like whiskey and light beer. Like,
Yeah,
they've
and-
got a different vibe.
I think it has a lot to do with the culture too, just because people are, you know, they're there to actually have the whole experience as opposed to get lit.
Yeah.
And I mean, you know, any place that I've been to that's been a brewery or whatever, like St. Julian's Winery in Frankenmuth, is incredible. Like, you walk in, they're playing this great music, or they have a live musician playing and whatnot. And they're like, oh, sample this. Oh, sample this. And I'm like, I really like that stuff. I want
Yeah.
more.
You still get pretty lit off of
Oh,
those microbrews
yeah.
and the wine. That's the funny part. We're like, no, we're not here to get drunk. And you have like 2 of these heavy micro beers. And you're like, okay, that was an accident.
Yeah, right.
That was a fluke. I didn't mean to do that. But I still had a good time, though.
Absolutely. But you're totally right about the whole culture and the atmosphere of being in these places, because they're so laid back. It's not, you know, all right, you got this amount of time, you're going to be dodging beer bottles and pulling shit out of your hide at the end of the night. No, it's, hey, cool, go play. You know, there'll be people in and out and so on and so forth. And you'll have, obviously, your people just going, wow, that was really great. You know, where are you playing next?
Mm-hmm.
You know, we want to come experiencing you. And that was really cool to kind of catch some of that vibe at the festival that we met you at, which was so cool because it was kind of more of an intimate setting.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just real cool, real chill, real laid back. And I was like, this is great. And then obviously getting to experience some of that stuff like you were talking about with the breweries and everything.
Yeah. Yeah, the Gypsy Goddess Festival. People should come out to that. I'd like to come back again, and we're talking. We'll see what happens, but definitely go check it out. It's kind of close, right? How far is it from here?
It's like 45 minutes
Yeah,
away.
It's
about
not-
45
it's not
minutes.
too
It
bad.
wasn't
Yeah.
too bad, but
But-
just the atmosphere of it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was like a
very
good
cool.
size. It wasn't, I don't know, it wasn't too crowded to where it was like dirt, dust, and heat. You know,
Right.
like some festivals just get too much for me.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
intense.
Yeah.
I got Jeremy Scott Gibbs tuning in. He said, "Tune in late, guys, but it's looking and sounding great."
Good.
So, which reminds me, we have to talk about that.
Well, now that he's here, we got to do another song because he's listening.
Oh
so-
yeah, for sure, for sure. But don't let us forget about talking about Saturday, unless you want to
Saturday.
do that really quick.
Yeah, well, as we're getting everything set up, I'm going to be losing my mic in a second here. but
Yeah.
I'm okay with that. We are going to be dropping a new episode of This Is My Brain.
Yay!
And
Good reviews on it.
oh, yeah, everybody's
reviews.
loving it. And shout out to Roxanne.
Yeah.
She was like, I don't know what you guys are talking about, but it drew me in. And she's like, I love this.
Yeah.
When's the next one dropping?
Yep, she was super excited about it. I gave Jeremy a little bit of a rundown about the good
Yeah.
reviews on it, and
Absolutely.
he was there at, like I said, at the Corky's Dream thing. So we got a couple
Yeah.
pictures and stuff. And I was telling him how, the reception of the show was really good.
Our friends at Solid State were like, we need to get some more episodes up so we can start restreaming this guy.
Yeah.
So
we love that.
yeah, and it's awesome to be part of that behind the scenes and working. And shout out to Nate. We abuse him responsibly.
Absolutely.
But this is one of the hardest working dudes I've ever met of this generations. I want to say, and it's not a generation. Well, back in my day, no, it's he wakes up, rolls out of bed. 10 minutes later, boom, he's ready to go.
Yeah,
and I said it on the show, but to pay credence to what I'm talking about right now, is he just does it.
right.
There's no grumbling. He just gets up and he goes, all right, let's go to work. And he makes it look super easy so I can do my job as a podcaster. So
I appreciate you too.
Thanks, Nate.
Yeah.
He's been getting everything set up, and I don't have to worry about it anymore. I'm getting less gray hairs. I
Fabulous.
appreciate
Even
it.
being Captain Gimpy. So
Yeah. Actually, you know what? I still have not found a gray hair, and I'm good with that.
that's because you dye your hair.
Well, before the dye.
Yeah, that doesn't even count.
Before the dye, I never found any.
Right. So yeah,
All right.
let's switch these mics around and get
So this is a song called "The Departed." It's based on a news article I read a while back about it was either the Missouri River or the Mississippi River, but one of these rivers had a really bad flood one year, and it washed up some Civil War graves that were buried along the river, and they just came up floating. And it got me thinking about how young those kids. They were probably kids, probably 18, 19 years old. Yeah, could be younger. Yeah, could seriously be younger. And how even in your late 20s, early 30s, how 18 starts to seem so young. You're barely 18, and then you move on, and you're like, wow, can you imagine being 18 years old, having to be in that kind of, atmosphere, and getting to do nothing else with your life? Have that be it. That's the whole story is 18 years, So this song was kind of inspired by what maybe they wanted to be or what they wanted to do, but that was just how their life, kind of rolled out. It's amazing. It's incredible. So, Departed. I wanna be a son of the sea, the wind and the waves crashing all over me. And I wanna know where the sunset goes. I wanna be a son of the sea, and I wanna live on the lay of the land, and leave my boat anchored here in the sand. If you sow these seeds, they'll be sure to grow. I want to live on the lay of the land. When that river washes up the graves, all the bodies from the battlefields, looted, loaded, and bored. And when that river runs up the names of them boys who became boys who became the departed brigades. I wanna call woman into my arms and keep us both, keep us safe from harm. Would it be too bold to ask her for a hand? Oh, I want to call a woman into my arms. When that river washes up the graves, all the bodies from the battlefields, looted, floated, and bored. And when that river runs up the names of them boys who became the departed brigades. Bury them so far from their uniforms, bury them so close to the sea, in a place where that hate cannot penetrate. No, not an ounce of blood can be seen. When that river washes up the graves, all the bodies from the battlefields, looted, loaded, and bored. And when that river runs up the names of them boys who became boys who became the departed brigades.
That was awesome.
Yeah. All right.
Would you mind playing another one?
What's that?
Would you mind playing another
No,
one?
not at all.
We're getting closer to the end, and I really want to hear another one from you, if you
Sure,
don't mind.
Absolutely, no way.
That'd be great. Just trying to catch it before you start spinning the mics back around.
I'll play another one off of the record that I've got online. People
Okay.
should, check that out, called Earth Tones. That song's off there, The Departed. It's wherever you listen. It's there, I'm sure. So, but yeah, check it out. The song is on there as well. It's called Stay. Well, here we go again. What happened now? Bad reputation. Talk of the town. Oh, Daddy told me got kicked out of school. Getting yourself into all kinds of trouble, breaking rules. Time and time again, causing me pain. And all of that writing, too much for your age. Well, you've been giving us one hell of a time. Why don't we sit down and go around and say what's on our minds? On our minds. Now, darling, just stay here. Darling, just stay here. Why don't you slow yourself on down? Them boys you've been hanging with, I don't like their tone. talking, just leave them alone. Tell me what would our mama think? God rest her soul. And all of that smoking and drinking, it's bound to take its toll. Take its toll. Now, darling, just stay here. Darling, just, stay right here. Why don't you slow yourself on down? Oh, now, darling, just stay here. Darling, just, stay right here. Why don't you slow yourself on down? Slow yourself down. Ooh, yeah. Slow yourself on down. Oh. And I've been waiting up for you to come home. It's cry for attention. Been going on for far too long. So what's it gonna be? Both know you're smart. You're gonna give me and Daddy early graves. Now tell me, is that what you want? Darling, just stay here. Oh, darling, just stay here. Why don't you slow yourself on down? Well, darling, just stay here. Stay right here. Why don't you slow yourself on down? Slow yourself down. Oh. Ooh. Slow yourself on down. Oh. Slow yourself on down.
Oh, that was great. That's great. Got people in the chat saying great job, great song. Yeah.
Good
awesome.
stuff. I love the live music stuff.
Yeah.
That Soldier song would work at any bar in Gettysburg.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Both of them.
Yeah.
Both bars.
Awesome.
There's two bars in Gettysburg.
There's two
is there?
bars in Gettysburg. One at end of the town and one at the other.
Right.
But the one with Abraham Lincoln's favorite bar, and you can go sit in his favorite, or not sit in it, but you can see where he used to sit.
Yeah.
Huh.
Gettysburg was a very cool place to visit.
Absolutely.
I had a good time there.
I have not traveled a whole lot myself. I'm hoping to do more of that.
I love it.
I think it'd be great. I think we should take our show on the road.
I'm ready.
We should do
You guys
it.
That'd
just
be
gotta
really
pay
cool.
me.
It'd be fun. Then we can meet, go to different places and meet different musicians while they're on the road.
It'd be
Yeah.
fun.
I'm sure you could set it up with people that are local too in that
Yeah.
town.
Yeah.
That would be really cool.
Absolutely.
Can you make a mini version of this rig and take it in the car?
For sure.
Right there. it
So
is.
right
That's
there.
it. That's all you need.
Yep.
It's like packing up a DJ booth.
Yep.
Basically, yeah. As long as we have Wi-Fi, we're golden.
Nice.
Decent.
Decent.
Decent Wi-Fi.
Decent.
Yeah. Well, that's what we have you and tech support.
Right.
Support.
I mean,
Jamming
That'd be
antenna
fun.
up his ass and the 56K dial up.
that's right.
Get something out of him.
Oh my goodness.
Is that the definition of a hotspot?
I think so.
Okay.
You can check him out at his
That got me.
You can check him out at his Hotmail address. HOTMAIL.
I'm gonna let you go ahead and take this
What did you
chat.
got? What are we doing here? Okay. Where am I at?
Brenda, Barbara.
Barbara, bend over now. Prosthetic jam. Yes, your Yipper Kipper.
Yipper.
What
Yom
happened
Kippur?
there? Did
Yeah.
somebody?
Yes on Yom Kippur.
I don't know, but the
I don't
last
know.
one.
Sure. Sasha says, sounds great. I appreciate listening to your music after quite a long, stressful week I've had. So You're reaching
Awesome.
people, man. That's awesome.
What was it about the prostate exam?
I don't know.
I
So
don't
I think
know.
Nate was talking something.
Barbara
He's like,
Schwartz.
yeah, Barbara Schwartz.
Schwartz is with you.
Yeah.
I
So
think
like,
I'm clever.
Moishe
Sorry, you probably heard that a
Finkelstein?
million times.
Looking for a lost family heirloom?
I guess.
Yeah, you're a court lawyer.
I
I'm a
guess.
dick.
I don't know. I'm not sure what's happening out there.
Oh,
but hey,
that's
thanks for
great.
joining us.
So your next 2 shows are going to be in Midland at
The Oxygen Lounge.
Oxygen
this Friday.
okay, and then Saturday is in Bay City at
The Governor's Quarters.
Governor's Quarters. The Governor Quarters.
Oh, the
Yeah.
Governor's.
Yeah.
Yes.
Arboretor Hall.
Yes.
Hello, Governor.
Hello, Governor.
Yeah. Actually, some Grand Rapids friends of mine are also playing in Midland on Friday
Oh, cool.
at Dow Gardens.
Okay,
Nice.
yeah.
So yeah, that's a
place.
band called Valentiger.
Oh, cool.
They're
Check them out.
Grand Rapids staples. Yeah, they're super nice dudes, but they'd love to come do this too. I'm sure.
Just let them know.
Little
Want
3-piece.
to
Yeah.
get, yeah.
dude.
Get in touch with them. I think they play Bay City pretty often.
Yeah,
All right,
dude.
yeah, we'll have to do that. We love having different.
Shoot him the
bands
info.
and-
We'll get him in.
Yeah. Have 'em message
Now that
me.
I've like been the ambassador to clear this. Yeah, they're not crazy.
They're not crazy. I
This is
did
actually a
not-
legitimate
Whoa, whoa, whoa,
thing.
whoa, whoa! No, we're legit.
We
fucking
are.
just throwing
We're
that
still
out there.
crazy.
We've got our
dog.
papers, but we're not the. We're gonna keep you in the basement kind of
Yeah.
crazy.
I got in the basement and then they let me right out.
Yeah,
It was
right
wonderful.
out.
Yeah.
It's actually where they broadcast a podcast.
It's strange, but yeah.
This is Matt Gabriel live from the podcast. I've been locked down here for I think 6 months now. I'm starting to lose.
It
lose
puts the
time.
lotion on its skin.
I can't remember exactly how long it's been. But.
Jeez. Well, we would love to have you come back and join us again. We've had a lot of fun, and our listeners really like you, so they're gonna go check out your music hopefully, and
Yeah,
come
please
hang
do.
out with you at the different venues if they've got nothing else going on this weekend.
Yeah.
And
Go buy his shit. Support him locally.
Yeah.
Support
Heck yeah.
local musicians.
always,
Thanks, guys. I've got a live album coming out like in 2 weeks as
Oh,
well. Too.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
give
sweet.
us the links and everything so we can help
That'd
keep
be
on
really
supporting
cool,
you and putting
yeah.
it out there because that's what we like to do.
Thanks, guys. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that'd
we're-
be fun.
it's been a lot of fun. Thank you for joining us. I like the positives and everything else that you shared with us tonight. The music's great. So thank you. We'd love to have you come back again.
Thanks, guys. You're all wonderful too. Real
Yeah, thank
positive.
you.
Everybody's just like, like, here, you. I just think it's great, man. I love the positivity in this place.
Thanks.
It's wonderful.
Thanks.
Well, thanks, man. Thanks for coming on the show, and we'll catch up with you later on. You'll come back on the show, right?
Be wonderful. Yeah.
Awesome.
cool.
Thank you so much. Don't
All
forget
right.
to like, share, and subscribe. Do all that social media shit. And back to
Join
you,
us
Ollie.
again for our 111th episode next Thursday. I don't know who's on yet, but we'll let you know.
That guy.
That one guy.
with the face.
Oh yeah, that's right. That
That's right.
one. All right. We'll see you next Thursday at 8. Thanks guys for joining in and listening. Love you guys.